On this podcast, we talk about the books, both old and new, that are worth putting on your to-be-read list. I'll include the back cover synopsis, content warnings, as well as my pro and con list. To avoid any spoilers, head over to my Instagram at enjoylifewithme.angela. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these books. Let's jump in for the day. Today we're going to be talking about The Lady and the Gent by Rebecca Connolly, which is the first book in the London Lake series. So we're starting a new series. The back cover synopsis says, "A woman of great fortune. Margaret Easton needs a husband, and she needs one now. Her parents are convinced that only a European will do, but Margaret wants nothing more than to stay in England. The trouble is there is only one man Margaret can think of, or rather one she can't forget, and he would not do as a husband at all. When she finds herself in his care unexpectedly, and her hunt becomes even more complicated than she could have ever imagined. A man of great mystery. Rafe Thornton has never said more than 10 words to Margaret, but she is rapidly becoming the sole occupant of his thoughts. She is distracting him from his operative work as the Gent, and keeps him from his usual focused nature, which he doesn't mind at all. When she stumbles into his world, his work and his emotions collide, forcing him to choose between saving the crown and protecting his love." This is a Regency spy romance. You have love at first sight and kept apart tropes. The intimacy is high though. There is a ton of flirting and remarks about figure and kisses. Obviously, when I say high, I'm obviously talking closed doors still. But there's a lot more in it than just like hand holding and a peck on the cheek. The language is also high. It was just a lot of mild words, but there was 47 if I counted correctly, so a lot compared to what I usually read. The violence is mild. There are injuries that it discusses and such, but it's not gory in any way. Pretty mild. The potential trigger warnings. There's society's judgment, lying, manipulation, plans to ruin, fighting, and break-ins. Now, for the con is everyone loves a good bad guy that they can hate. It turns into a con when they don't get justice the way you want it. Because the quote goes, "Obviously, your education and etiquette are lacking, for you are most certainly not finished and not accomplished enough for your future to tempt any man to wed you and bed you." And like in that moment, it goes from like you hate the bad guy to like just loathing. Very frustrating. Which, I mean, again, everyone loves a good bad guy. Just this one irksome in a different way. Now, on the pro side, I loved how they were owning being a romantic. He had not looked her in the eye for over a month, and even the most romantic of fools would call him pathetic, and he knew that, but he didn't mind being pathetic. I like how he just owned that looking into the eyes and daydreaming and counting to 10 and all of that was just part of it. I thought that was really cute. And I'm all for guys owning their romantic side. I also liked that you kind of had a fresh perspective. I feel like gypsies are often not viewed in a positive light in the like Regency historical books. So to have them befriended and helpful, they had morals, like it was just a nice change from how they're typically perceived. And there were just some really good lines, for lack of a better word. It says, Margaret is unique, but hardly hopeless. Well, that was a flattering description. Or, it is much more fun to be bold and daring. Ceremony bores me. Or the one that says, it's not courting, it's seduction by flirtation. Or probably my favorite line was, every man must make his own path. It just, kind of those profound lines that kind of get thrown into books, but if you pull them out, you're like, that was really good. The favorite part, though, as is often the case, is the epilogue. But this one was through the child's eyes. And what a great example of love that's being shown to her. And that was just amazingly sweet. But this book was just wonderful, hands down. So glad it was recommended to me by a friend on Instagram, because you go from the street urchins to the ballrooms, the mystery and adventure. Like, this one was just really hard to put down. It was great, super swoony, tons of romance in it. If you loved when I was covering the Beckett Files series by Lara Beers, this one is very similar. This series is very similar to that, and I have loved it. So I would love you to jump over to my social medias. I'll make sure the clickable link tree's in the show notes, and I would love to hear what you think. If you also love Regency spy books, it's this genre I didn't really know existed until like a year ago, and so I'm really glad to find another series with it. It's been really fun. So I would love to hear your thoughts. As always, I will talk to you soon. Happy reading.